So you say you want to go on a diet, but you don't want to measure or weigh your food. Okay, there's a lot of things I don't want as well. I really don't want to pay my bills. I really don't want to listen to Lady Gaga or Adele anymore on the radio. In the shadow. I really don't want to pick up my dog's turds on the street.
You don't have a dog.
Still. So the first question you should ask is, should I weigh my food? And I'm gonna say yes, for a couple of reasons. When you first begin, you don't have that common sense of looking at a steak or looking at 2 or 3 baked potatoes and having a notion of how many grams there are in that piece. So in order to avoid that knowledge, which is barely none. So you should have a more accurate way of knowing how much food you're consuming because of progression. So when you begin, let's say you have 2,000 calories that you should consume every day in order to maintain your weight. What you should do when you want to lose weight is go under that line about 200 or 300 calories. If you go way past it because you dropped a lot, because it's like, oh, so if it's a scoop, let's use half a scoop, or if you go by what you feel like, maybe you're gonna ruin that progression. You're gonna be so under that line that when you actually stagnate, a couple months in, when you stagnate, you have nowhere else to go but to eat even less. And that's no good, because maybe you're gonna eat like what, a piece of lettuce for a day? Don't screw with your progression. It's all about progression. Let's use rolled oats as an example. So I'm gonna say you should have a scoop of oats. What is a scoop? Is it a full scoop, like a really full scoop, like more than a scoop? Is it really base level? What is it? So if I put this on the scale's at 0 right now, so I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna see how much does the scoop alone weigh, and it's about 15 grams. Okay, so 15 grams, and now I put the full scoop. Okay, this level scoop. Oh, it's really leveled scoop. So I'm gonna put it in, 35 grams, so it's about 20 grams. Now if I put a little bit less, and I'm gonna say that it's not really leveled up, so this is leveled up, I'm gonna take a little bit less, just a little bit. See, it's not a lot. You know, it's a scoop as well. Let's see how much it goes. 15 grams. So these 5 grams can make a difference in the long run. Because if you do 3, 4, 6 meals based on those gross measurements, you're gonna find it really hard to be as accurate as possible. And we kind of want that, especially in the beginning. And now that I know that I should weigh my food, should I weigh it raw or cooked? And it will all depend on one simple factor called water. When you cook grains or carbs like rice, potatoes, beans, oats, they gain water. So the volume of the food and the weight will be much different than the raw version. And when you cook the protein like meat or fish, the same thing will occur. There will be a volume and weight difference in this case because there will be water drainage. So you'll definitely notice a difference in the weight that, for example, a piece of chicken will have when it's raw or when you finished grilling it, because there was water drainage, and you can have a difference of 20, 30, or even 50 grams depending on the piece. So the main concern you should have, and when you ask me, should I weigh it raw or cooked then? I will have to say and tell you one more time that it will depend. It was so close. It will always depend on you, the way you want to do things, and the way the food is presented to you. So once you get the packages, if you're looking at the packages, if you're looking, for example, at rice, these values they give you, 100 grams will have 360 calories. It's all based on the way it's presented. It's presented in a raw fashion. Same thing with the poultry. So if it says here that it's got 630 grams, they're talking about their raw weight. Because the people who made the packages are not trying to guess how much water you're gonna put. They have no clue. But don't worry, you can still weigh it raw and put as much water as you want, because water will not give it more or less nutrients. It'll be the same.
I've heard.
Unless you put just a little bit of butter in it.
Too much of anything is not good for you, baby.
So why wouldn't I weigh everything raw then? Well, for a couple reasons. First of all, like I said, it depends on the way it's presented to you. And a lot of nutritionists or websites, yes, you're probably one of those who follow diets from websites. They're probably gonna give you the final values once the food is cooked in order to make life easier for you. So for example, if a nutritionist gives you a full diet and at lunch you see something like 100 grams of rice, now you know that 100 grams is nearly 400 calories. So obviously if they want you to lose weight, they're not gonna give you 400 calories just in one serving of rice or in one sitting. That would be crazy. So when they give you the cooked values, you can do a whole bowl, a whole pot of rice or spaghetti, and then you only put what you need with the scale. Let's zero this up. And let's say I need 100 grams of cooked rice. So I put the 100 grams, almost there, 116, screw it. And the rest will go to the fridge, and I don't have to cook exactly, or I don't have to do a lot of math whenever I want to cook an entire bowl or pot or whatever. So this is usually the case. So you should ask, if you're not certain, you should ask your nutritionist, you should ask the diet maker, how is he or she presenting the food to you? But there should be no question by now, of course. If you're doing it all by yourself though, you can do it as you wish. So even if you go to MyFitnessPal or any app where you're accounting for how many calories you're consuming in a day and for the macros, just write it down. Boiled rice, fried rice, boiled spaghetti. And the values will determine, or the way of cooking will determine the final values. Yeah, that's it. Excuse me, now I gotta feed this one. Oh, these kids. So hard to raise them. Come on, Brucey. Brucey, I told you. Here's a little airplane. Let's go. It's basmati rice. You're gonna like it. Brucey! Brucey! Thus, it increased the plasma volume by 3 to 5% and the red blood cell count. Go figure. It also seems to help to avoid muscle atrophy as well as decreasing the amount of DOMS that you feel. Delayed onset muscle soreness. So, sore muscles. One last one.